Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott. There's Dave over here. Hey. It's so confusing. Anyway, we've done over 80 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's, I still don't know which side of the screen you're on. But
I'm over here. You're over there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're going to finish John Hughes month with one of my all-time favorite movies and my favorite John Hughes film, 16 Candles.
It's a great movie.
Thank you for listening. We love it. Have a nice day. I don't know.
Bye. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go now.
Oh, no. This really shows John Hughes' ability to write memorable characters, real dialogue. If you grew up in the 80s and you watch these films, you're instantly brought back. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
All the way down to the killer soundtrack in this, especially. I'm going to be all over the place on this movie because one thing I noticed last night on this was the soundtrack. It's exceptional, but then there's other little musical cues and songs that come in that are just perfect. Mm-hmm. I love the little crazy music that plays on the bus when they're driving down the street. And it's the way it's timed. Everything is just, there was a lot of thought in that made you see that. It's like, my God, yes, the bus sucked riding the bus as a kid.
Oh my God.
But
who
every time
riding the bus,
every time Long Duck Dong showed up, there was a big gong.
Boom. Yeah. The first time his name is mentioned, his name is Long Duck Dong. Boom. That's so damn funny. I'm just looking at some of the people that were in the
cast. Holy shit!
John Cusack is just one of the nerds getting bossed around. I mean,
John Cusack, his sister Joan is in there as well.
That had to be one of their first movies, and of course, they're in it together.
Yes.
Every time John Cusack does a movie, he has a sister. There's
it's like Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a good movie with him. It's Grosse Point Blank. Have you ever seen it?
He's a long time ago.
His sister is, I think, the hired. It's his secretary. That is a movie worth watching. I would watch that again, even if we don't do a thing on it. Real quick, before we get too far into this movie, I want to mention some movies. I took a little bit of a break from work, took a little vacation, and I watched the Ice Cube Friday movies.
Oh my God, those are
next
great,
Friday,
dude.
Friday after next.
You see, you watched all three.
And then I watched Barbershop. And I always thought that he wrote Barbershop, but he didn't. He acted in it, and there was a couple other guys that wrote it. And you see him getting better all the way through. But what really strikes me about Ice Cube, real quick, because I know he was like the NWA.
NWA, yeah.
He was just, Mr. Attitude and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he came out with Fridays. And as far as I know, this was his first thing that he did. And it was low budget, no budget, just about. Like everybody's getting paid on weed, basically. If everything that I read about making this movie was real, nobody got a dime. I think maybe residuals, but nobody got paid up front.
If you take a look at how NWA financed their first album was through drug sales.
Right.
I mean, of course, he put together what he could.
Yeah. So I'm not a big dope guy, but I can actually, I get that. I get that grift that, you worked your ass off for it. But that movie he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wrote, I think, the next two also. And I was really I've listened to some of their rap, not my thing, never has been. But his comedy writing, his comedic timing.
He's a genius.
For a guy who I don't think even had an acting class before Fridays or before Friday. I don't know that he ever had an acting class or if it just came natural. That guy has got such talent. And like Rudy Ray Moore, this guy only talented.
Well, this is one of the things when I watched the movie Straight Outta Compton. First off, have you seen it?
No, I don't think
it's
so.
Actually, it's a really good biopic of NWA, and they
Right.
cast Ice Cube's real life son to play him.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't realize that. I'm watching. It's like, my God, casting did an amazing job. This looks like a fucking young Ice Cube. It's
How did
because
they
it
find
is.
this guy?
Yeah, how did they find this guy? Well, it's his son. But
Right.
they show that after they started to split apart from NWA, Ice Cube had his drive, and they show him actually sitting in front of an old typewriter, banging out Friday.
No
They
kidding.
show that what he's writing right then and there, and they show him as such a hustler from the beginning. And when I use hustler, not in derogatory mean.
No, I get it.
You know,
everybody's got a hustle, and his hustle is talent and his ability, his writing ability, in Friday, and then we'll get back into the movie that we're actually reviewing. It just reminded me so much of a lot of my growing up. Let me put it that way. Different neighborhood, different end of the country, but the same type of shit going on.
You didn't grow up in Compton?
I did not grow up in Compton. I grew up in worse areas.
But I have to ask, this just one important question. How'd you get fired on your day off?
Believe it or not, I wasn't fired on my day off.
Boxes? Would it have anything on boxes? Okay.
It wasn't boxes. Well, no, wasn't me. But
that is the only movie that I can really tolerate Chris Tucker in, besides Rush Hour. Sometimes I find Chris Tucker very annoying.
You didn't like him in Fifth Element?
That's where I can't stand him. Ruby Rod, no thank you.
I love him.
But props to Chris Tucker. It was a weird shift watching the Fridays movies go to Mike Epps, but I think Mike Epps does a great job as that sidekick to
as the cousin.
Yeah, as to Craig. Yeah. John is it John Witherspoon?
Witherspoon
is his dad.
Yeah.
From the Wayans brothers and everything. And what's funny is his mom was also from the Wayans brothers TV show.
Well, she was also on Amen. I think it was Amen.
Yes.
Where she was the daughter always trying to get the preacher to marry her.
Yeah.
She was also in the hell movie was it? Trying to think of the name of the movie. St. Elmo's Fire.
Okay.
She played a hooker in that.
She's funny. So which of the is it Barbershop that has a scene with somebody who stole an ATM?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I like Barbershop. Cedric the Entertainer and all the others in there.
His acting in that was like as watching these movies, I just watched him get better and better. And then in Barbershop, I was like, holy crap, he is definitely a leading man now. Like by the time he gets to Barbershop, he's honed all his. He's playing the comedy, but he's also playing the serious guy. It's really well done, and I just got to give that guy props. Like
absolutely. So that being said, this year in 2022, when we inevitably return to John Carpenter, we will review Ghost of Mars with leading man Ice Cube.
Cool. Sounds good to me. Sounds good.
Pam Grier is in the movie.
Sold.
Pam Grier, Ice Cube, I forget who else is in it. Here's the thing. That movie gets a lot of fucking hate, and I get crazy looks when I say I like it, but I can't wait for you to see it.
Never seen it. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. Now, I just wanted to mention that because we haven't talked about a lot of different things in the last
No, we haven't.
But about this movie, 16 Candles.
Fucking classic.
It's just, let me see if I can find that, the Geddy Watanabe.
My God. This is his first movie.
I think it is. It
is. I was reading an interview with him this morning because, like all movies from the 80s, they don't
age well. Some of them.
They don't age well sometimes in the political or social commentary. So I just wanted to know what Geddy Watanabe's take was on this, and he has nothing but praise for John Hughes, this movie, and he is so fucking funny in it. Did you know that he and the actress who played his girlfriend in that movie?
Oh yeah,
they're still good friends. They still hook
thank
up.
God. I was asking. I was wondering if any of these people even still knew each other. I love that they still know each other.
He said he ran into Zelda Rubinstein, the little tiny lady.
No shit.
And there goes my damn Siri. Okay, so he sees a lot of the people still, and
I love that. I love to hear that.
And I kind of got a vibe from like when we did Charlie Chan and was looking to see what did the Asian actors have to say about this.
Right.
He's in the same boat, you know. And
most of them, it's a job and it's funny.
It's fucking
done
funny.
well. See, nothing there was done to make fun of Long Duck Dong. He was in
his name.
Except for well, what I love is when the girl's she's holding him. He's like right.
Yeah, and he's like staring right at that big old boob. Yeah.
Face is right in her boobs. Yeah. And she's like, "What's your name?" Dong.
Long. Yeah, Dong.
No, Dong. What's your first name? Long. And you just see her ever so slightly pull him in a little bit closer and a little bit harder. Yeah. What's your middle name? Duck. And then she pulls him in just like, oh yeah, he ain't getting away from her.
It is. It's so funny, and what he had said that he did a lot of studying to really get into the role of Long Duck Dong as somebody who loves America and everything America has to offer. So that's why he's looking at a pretty girlfriend or whatever, you know. It's like brilliant. Yeah, so he really brought everything to that fucking role, and it's so funny.
Such a funny job.
I love it when he's so fucking drunk and he's on the ground. And the grandparents are there. Oh, Grandpa's talking to you.
Yeah.
Automobile.
What happened to my car? Boom. Lake. And the other grandfather's just laughing his ass off. 3 sheets to the wind. Gone. So
this is something that's interesting, just because that segues nicely. If you look at any of the John Hughes films that we've watched, he writes people so well, and he does grandparents. They are in every fucking movie, and they're very, very similar, like in Weird Science and Christmas Vacation and Here, and it's just like, oh my god! And see, I saw my grandparents in those people, both sets. It's like, oh my god, this guy could write people, and it's just. It's a shame that we're not going to get any more movies.
I just love when Molly Ringwald sees the second group of grandparents. I guess it's the dad's parents.
Oh yeah.
And the one granny's got a cigarette, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She pulls her arms apart.
She's got her boobies.
She's got her boobies, and the grandfather's like, "Yeah, okay, you know." And
let me get my magnifying glass.
Grandmother just basically grabs the breast. And it's like, I just can't believe I got felt up by my own grandmother.
Yeah. This is a fast movie. It's an hour and a half, but man, it goes by. Boom!
It felt like a half hour. Like watching this,
I was like,
just
holy
so
shit, this is done.
What I thought was interesting, because I think this is like one of the first movie that I can think of, and I did not look it up to see, but John Hughes did. Like it's got to be like one of the first big ones. I think it's the first one Molly Ringwald was in with him.
This is 1984, so this is definitely before Breakfast Club.
So I think this might have been before, or like the first one Molly Ringwald did with him. Yeah. I'm guessing, because the writing of the caste system, even the drunk girl, the rich drunk girl that's with the good looking kid that Molly Ringwald's character, Jake
motherfucking Ryan.
Even she was nice to Molly Ringwald's character when she walks by. When she was nice to Samantha when she walked by her in the hallway. She's like, "Hi, how you doing?" She wasn't.
Yeah, there wasn't.
The class divide was there a little bit, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
He built that up as he was making.
I think you're right.
Bigger and bigger and bigger, and I thought it was pretty funny to watch that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If you watch his expansion on that, you know what I mean. Yeah. And Jake Ryan, that guy, I think he only did 1 or 2 movies. I don't think he's done. Let me see. Michael Schofling.
Yeah.
I'm totally destroying his last name.
I don't know how somebody does a movie like this and then never works again. It's just weird to me. But
he probably went in there and just didn't like what Hollywood had.
You know what? And that's quite possible.
He might have went back. He might have been stage actor. I did not look up what.
Yeah, he does. It's possible. It just blows my mind. It's like, oh my god, you were part of a huge movie. Why aren't you? Yeah. You should be able to walk in anywhere and get a job.
Right. You'd think.
Some of us would kill for that opportunity.
Anthony Michael Hall is just the geek
He's
is
so young in this, but I never really noticed what a good actor Anthony Michael Hall is.
Right off the bat. I think this is like one of his first movies too.
He's fucking amazing, and you're going to see that if you watch any movies with younger actors. It seems like the younger they are, the more free they are, the more real they are, the easier it is for them to go into character. And if they follow direction, kids will blow your mind every time. That's like wow. So,
well, it's like the first Harry Potter movie. Those kids were so small, and Chris Columbus. I watched an interview. He's talking about the kids. He's like, they became good actors. But when they first were there, you had to tell them what to do. You're kind of acting for them.
But they were so young,
And he goes, but they would do it like you'd have to film like 4 or 5 times from all these different angles because one of the kids would break character inevitably.
Yeah.
So the red-haired boy always broke character. They said a lot. So
fucking Weasleys.
Some of those shots are from behind, so you get the other 2 kids staying in character. But this one's like, but they've got the shot because it's the back of his head.
That's awesome.
But like you get a kid like Anthony Michael Hall and Molly Ringwald who's just willing to put up with a character.
They're so real in that because they're teenagers. They are really that young, and they're so good in that.
And the scene where she's already depressed, she's freaking out because Jake Ryan isn't like falling all over her. She feels like she's made a fool of herself, and then she's sitting in the car, and Anthony Michael Hall's character comes in and he leans on that shelf with all the hubcaps and everything on it and just knocks that thing shit limber. Everything's flinging. And what's great is he's just standing there and you still hear one of the things spinning.
See, that
is perfect.
And see, that's another cue. If you look or listen to this movie, it's like, my God, they paid attention to a lot of detail, a lot of little things that just really make this thing come to life. Here's one of the things that got me, and I went down an internet rabbit hole last night after watching this because there was, when they walk into the dance, there's a song playing. It's like, what is it? It sounds like Madness. So, but it's not. It sounds like Our House, but it's not. So I went looking.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. It is not. Because I was like, but that is not it. And I went looking. Originally, they wanted Our House playing. So they paid somebody to make something that sounded similar. It's not on the soundtrack. It's not listed anywhere.
No shit. That's funny.
It was a studio. That's funny. Somebody just wrote it and did it. And it's like, because I was like, what is it? It sounds like Madness. I was like, nope.
That's funny. That's very funny. Yeah, that dance is
oh my God.
Dance is just a disaster. I don't know if you ever went to any dances as a kid.
Yes, and they looked just like that. Yeah, I was over on the wall.
Yeah, I was the wallflower.
I did not have a jock strap on my head or a headlamp or
with the laser
anything
guns.
like that.
Get those off your head. What are you wearing those? My little brother spent $1 to look at your panties whenever their friend tells her about the panties.
Yes.
That's so stupid. But this movie, again, it is definitely an 80s movie. I do think you can make this movie today.
You absolutely can.
I do. And gratuitous breast shot early.
That was not needed.
No, it was not.
But this is an opportunity. This actually does set things. They didn't have to show it. They did because to me it's very creepy. Even though that is an adult actress in the shower, not a high schooler kid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a high schooler,
right?
You know, but it's kind of weird. It's like, well, we're dropping into a high school shower. But I could imagine a conversation like that actually going down.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're so perfect. Because you're judging yourself to other people.
They could have done the shot like from chest, like just above nude shot up with her in the shower and still had the exact same effect. I'm not a prude by any means. So just take that with the grain of salt that is meant to be.
Yeah.
Paul Dooley, her dad, the character with her dad.
I've seen him in a lot of things.
Yeah, big time character actor. And again, a great father-daughter moment when she's on the couch and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, I am so sorry we forgot your birthday." He's just like, with everything going on and your sister, I'm so, and she's like, "It's okay." And even the mom is like, "We are so sorry." And she's like, "It's okay." And she has to hug the mom at one point, like,
Yeah.
No, mom, it's all right. I'm already over it. I've already been mad about it. It's good.
One of the things about that scene where he's talking to her, I read about Molly had written an article for a newspaper that I discussed a little bit about when we did Breakfast Club.
Right,
but she had talked about this scene in that article. Originally, there was
the one in 16 Candles.
Yeah, she talked about the 16 candle scene of her dad talking to her, because originally he makes a reference to her panties being shown everywhere.
How would he find that out?
Because everybody knew, and I get the joke, but she and maybe some other people had issue with that. It's like, wait a minute, that's a little creepy. What he says is perfect. It alludes to it. Like, you'll wear the pants in the family, and you see her face, and it's like, okay, that's a little playful joke. But it would have been too creepy if Dad was making jokes about his daughter's panties.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that was
unless it was concern. Unless it would have been like a concern, like, why are your panties?
It was played for a joke. Is originally what she had said. I was surprised that the people in here, we mentioned John Cusack, Joan Cusack, Jamie Gertz. I never realized she was in here as well, from Twister, Lost Boys. She was on a sitcom, I forget the name of it, that I used to watch. So, I mean, there's a lot of people on here that
Billy Bird, Max Showalter, all character actors.
How about The Preacher? I about shit when I realized that was Brian Doyle Murray.
Brian Doyle Murray, I know.
I was like, that looks like Brian Doyle Murray. Oh, it is.
And I both stopped and looked at each other. We're like, holy crap, I forgot he was in here.
Yeah, and you know what? And this shows John Hughes worked with the people he liked, because they pop up in his movies all the fucking time.
Lot, that just here and there. There's like a lot of character actors in here, just like different jocks, and Zelda Rubinstein, the organist.
Oh, the little old lady from Poltergeist.
The little old lady from Poltergeist, and everybody's just like taking a step back from her and like looking around like,
Hey, there is at the local Whataburger here, there is a lady who sounds and looks very similar to Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh no!
And one of these days, I'm going to go through the drive-through and just ask her, "Will you say this house is clear, or this house is clean?"
This house is clean, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yes,
I want my money back.
Just once. I don't think she'd get it, but it would be awesome. I just want to say, Tangina, is that you?
It'd be funny if she actually did get it. And said it just like her.
Oh, I know.
This house is
clean. Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. We're a little bit all over the place on this, but this movie basically deals with Samantha Baker and her parents forget her 16th birthday.
Yeah.
On the eve of her sister's wedding. So all their focus is faced on that.
Yeah.
And here's Sam looking like every 16-year-old. She was going to have the pink Trans Am and everything.
Right.
It would be such a big deal, and nobody said anything.
Didn't even wish her happy birthday, man.
No. And she's in love with pretty boy Jake Ryan. Okay, I am very happy with this ending.
Yes, I love this ending. It's an iconic.
This ending brings a tear to my eye every time they show that scene.
It does.
And I hear the Thompson twins start to play "If You Were Here." And you see the traffic move, and there's Jake Ryan, and they go back to her face, and it's just like fucking beautiful. And we need more movies like this. And then
that was a good ending.
Yeah, I love that ending. And she's like pointing, it's him to her dad, as they
and
get
what's funny is Jake never spots the dad. Mm-mm. And it was pointed out to me last night by the wife that he opens the door for her to get in.
Yeah.
And shuts it, and then walks around to the guy. And he never knows the dad's there, but the dad's watching this the whole time. So the dad was like, maybe at first, like, I don't know. And then when you see him open the door and shut it, and make sure I think he crosses the street with her. I think he goes and gets her and crosses the street with her. So he's very gentlemanly with her.
Yeah.
And he tried to be that way with his girlfriend, but the girl was just like,
she was just somebody else.
But by the end of the movie, even she figured out what was her problem. So that was all good.
That's what's great about this. The fact that these kids were very adult about everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of freaky. I mean, because
just their breakup. was very adult. Like she figured out that girl, the girlfriend, I can't, hold on.
Carolyn.
Evelyn Morris played Carolyn. She figured out real quick what her problem was.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, like after she wakes up in the arms of the geek. And she didn't really mind. So there was like
no, and you know what that is? Here we have John Hughes again, highlighting people being honest and true to themselves, and not judging on what people look like, and
exactly.
And we've said this before. He wrote the same fucking movie over and over.
Yeah,
it's great, and it works every time.
This movie is Pretty in Pink. Is Breakfast Club? Is shit. There's another movie that we is
even Weird Science.
Weird Science. Yeah, there's everything in this movie is in all his other movies.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
But it's not the same story. It's not the same story. It's the same story told completely differently. Like if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it.
No, and I didn't notice. I've seen all these movies so many times, and it wasn't until we did this show that it's like, oh my God, all his movies have the same theme. They have the same story structure, or the same concept, and I think it's brilliant.
And here again, the trickster in this one, I picture as Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, oh shit, I didn't even think to look at that, but yeah, it's definitely Farmer Ted.
Yeah, he's the one who initiates all the shit and gets her with Jake Ryan.
He is. The story's over. Not only does he help her, he's there to help Jake. He guides Jake. And it's like, what? But he does.
The most unusual guide for Jake Ryan at all. And what I love is he's under the table. He's in the glass table. And he gets them out. And the next scene is they're in the kitchen. Jake Ryan.
He's making martinis.
This big, strapping, good-looking jock type all-around American kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's with this little skinny, probably all of 98 pounds soaking wet. And the geek is shaking up martinis. He's pouring them each a martini. And he's making a good martini because, Jake takes it and drinks it with no problem. So the kid knows how to make a martini. Don't know how. But it's just a fun scene. And as they're talking, is the kids giving Jake advice.
No.
And it's not all terrible, but it's, it is advice. It's teenager advice. But it's just so funny.
Anthony Michael Hall is somebody I would love to meet someday, just because he's had.
I would love to be in a movie with him.
Yeah,
I would love to be in a comedy movie with him.
Yes,
and then the next movie you do a serious movie, but comedy. I just can't imagine his chops now.
Oh yeah. Well, he was great.
Would he be willing to still do the little dance around the circle in the high school dance type thing?
That was amazing. That was amazing.
That is the kind of stupid shit that I used to do and didn't give a fuck whether anybody was watching.
That's what's awesome. Awesome.
And I used to just do that shit to people, and then I'd look at them and walk away. And they'd just be standing there like, what the hell is wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it, but it would depend on my mood. How much can I embarrass somebody and not care?
Right. I'm a little more reserved now than I used to be. But I don't want to break a hip on the dance floor. I really enjoyed watching this. I forgot how much I love this movie. I can't say enough good things about it. You're going to be surprised, but I'm not bringing up any of the politically incorrect shit at all, because it really is irrelevant to this movie.
You know what? If Watanabe didn't give a crap about it, some of the terms they say are just so quickly said and done.
Well,
I'm sorry, there's still terms used today by everybody ever heard.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: it's the '80s. We freely use the word faggot, and it's inappropriate now, but it was common in the lexicon then. Not saying it's right. It just, you see it, that's a '80s movie. So,
but you know what? I still hear it, and I hear it from everybody.
I don't.
I hear it from straights. I hear it from homosexuals. I hear it from everybody. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's just, I think, and like I said, I wasn't going to turn this into
right.
a conversation about the stuff on the movie because it does so much right. And God damn it was in the 80s. So yes, we can go back and pick apart any fucking thing from the past. But if they made it now with the same terminology, then you got beef. But
well, no, you know what? I think if you're going to write an 80s movie now, you got to throw that stuff in there.
That's what we talk about.
I think you would have to. Yeah.
We bring that up a lot on what makes an 80s show. The guy with the
cigarette smoking.
Well,
the L'Oreal guy with a camera around his neck. Just fucking have fun with it, Yeah.
Mike, her little brother Mike, is
what
awesome.
Dick.
Oh, he is so fucking awesome.
I would have knocked that kid down the stairs.
He is sitting at the table. He is holding a pretzel like a fucking cigarette. And he's acting cool as shit. That kid's acting chops in that movie is like, shit, look at him.
I hated that kid.
Oh, he did it so well.
Just reach over and slap him.
Yeah. He was such a shithead. And the parents even acknowledged it. It was great. Such a great fucking character.
I love what the dad says about him. What the hell? She says something about a dad. She says he's a jerk, and the dad's like, yeah, he's a jerk.
Mike hates everybody.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah, he is a little shit. And it was great. He was a great little annoying little brother. So showing that dynamic was great.
He was. And the kid did do that job so much. That's why I hate the character so much.
Because he did it well.
He did such a good job. And that's Justin Henry is that kid's name.
Yeah, he did great in that.
He was in a lot of stuff. He was in a lot of movies around that time period in the 80s. So I do recognize him from stuff. I couldn't tell you any other movies, but I know I've seen him in more than just that.
Yeah. For our watchers, I don't have Ghost moving a swing. I have a cat.
It's a ghost.
There he is.
Cat. It's a ghost cat, and it's gonna scratch.
Yeah, that's why there's not much left of that horrible swing.
It's a big old kitty. This all around, again, it's a John Hughes film. You go in knowing you're going to get a good story. You're going to get laughs. You're gonna have fun. But if you don't crack a smile and laugh your ass off by the end of this movie, at some point, just finding something stupid, just the way when Long Duck Dong crashes the car on top of the other little red convertible.
Oh my God! And the couple's inside still making out.
Couple's still inside. And then as they're walking, the big jock girl just grabs him, and she's got to be a full head taller. And she just grabs him, pulls him in close, and she's smiling, man. She's got a big smile.
She got one. She's
walking. It was just such a great scene because the visual in their heights is very funny, and then the smile on her face is just great. And Watanabe's character is like, I got a big American woman now. I'm perfectly happy. Life is good.
He's great in that. I look at Joan Cusack's character is only there for relief, comic relief. With her headgear, she's obviously broke her neck or something. And it is funny. It's funny. We're laughing at this poor injured person.
But trying to get a drink of water out of the water fountain.
And that's what I like about he saw things that were funny to him, and they're funny to me too. It's just like you got to be able to laugh at shit. And this movie is so good.
It's very funny. I'm going to cut right to the chase, unless there's something else that you can think of.
No.
This is a must watch for me.
Absolutely.
I've got all these movies that we've talked about the last month. I'm sure I have more too someplace. I got a lot of John Hughes stuff, I know. But these movies are so funny, so good, so well written, so well directed. He wrote and directed this one.
Yes.
And that's probably why I always think he directs his movies also, not just writes them, but he finds directors that fall and flow in with him. So he was a really good picker of directors, whatever
he was. Yeah, he knew how to get his vision across, even if he wasn't the one who directed it.
Right. So he did a really good job with that. With Home Alone, he found the right director. I think that was Chris Columbus too.
I think you're right. I have never seen Home Alone, believe it or not, but I do believe it's Chris Columbus. Yeah.
Well, Christmas in July. We'll have to do at least Home Alone 1.
Yes. Just Christmas in July. I love that idea.
It is worth The first and second one are great. After that, they're all garbage because they took the cute little Macaulay Culkin out, and just replaced and just kept trying to make money. And now I guess Disney Plus tried to remake it or redo it.
Oh, really? What?
It got canned. Everything that I read about it, everybody canned it. Like, why are you even thinking about doing this movie again?
Well, see, here's the thing. People look at that. It's like, oh my God, this property is such a successful thing. If I write it, I can make it a little different, make it my own, and it'll be just as successful. And 9 times out of 10, it fails because you were not the person who did that. You're not the person who had that idea. You're not the director. Remakes are, to me, very rarely successful. There are a few that I absolutely love, like the remake of Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder. I think is a fucking amazing movie. So actually, all the Dead remakes I kind of like. Day of the Dead remake and stuff. So some remakes work. Others, not so much. The Evil Dead is one by far my favorite remake reboot I have ever seen.
But didn't Ramis do that?
Sam Raimi? No. Fede Alvarez did it.
Really? I always thought that Raimi went in and redid it.
No, he produced it. And so did Bruce Campbell. But they got a director who had their vision. And we had the John Hughes formula.
Yeah.
Different characters, same story.
Right.
And it's fucking insane. There is a new Evil Dead coming, though, by the way, with Bruce, done by Sam.
Oh, nice.
So,
I like Bruce. But here's the thing, like you said, like people who take a product or a project and destroy it. DC Comics and Marvel Comics writers right now, I'm just going to leave it at this. They are destroying their properties. They are losing money. They are losing and they want to blame you name anything that they want to blame it. They're trying to blame it. They're trying to blame men, women, children, but everybody's fault but the writers and the editors. Well, no, you guys are horrible writers for the most part, and your art for the most part now sucks. It just does. I mean, I've looked at some of the new stuff coming out. I'm appalled. I would have been laughed out of the fucking building had I walked in with artwork like some of these motherfuckers got.
I've seen stuff like that. There's an artist, and I cannot think of his name, but they love to make fun of him all the time on Instagram and everything because he can't do fucking anatomy, but he's done X-Men and all kinds of other things.
Layfield.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Layfield. For me, he's not a great artist. I wish to God he would have taken a couple of art classes and actually learned his trade better. But he is the nicest fucking guy in the world.
That's awesome.
We were at San Diego Comic-Con one time and walking the floor, and I kept trying to get to him because I wanted to meet him because I admire the guy's hustle. Like this, he hustled and he did a good job. I do like to make fun of him because I'm a prick, but I do like the guy. If I met him, I would just like shake his hand and go, "Damn, you're, good for you." The one thing I got to say about this guy is he was always at his table. He was always at the table. He was always willing to talk to people. He was always looking at portfolios. If somebody brought him artwork or brought him a book and this is at the San Diego Comic-Con where, numbers count, you got to shuffle everybody by. And the one time that I finally got a chance, I was going to walk up and talk to him. He just got his lunch handed to him and he just started to eat. And I see him look up as I'm walking towards him. I didn't see what he had in his hand. And he turns and he's just about ready to take a bite. And he looks up at me and I just looked at him and went, turn around. I was like, I am not going to fucking bust this guy's balls when he's eating. I'm just not going to do it. I had some, I had a comic or a collection I wanted him to sign for me. But I was like, I'm not going to do this. It's the first time I've seen that guy actually sit down and take a semblance of a break.
My God, David, you do have a heart.
Shut up. I do not. I deny that. Deny it. But yeah, for Layfield, I know that everybody makes fun of him. He cannot draw hands. He cannot draw feet.
Those are hard, dude. And you know that.
Yeah. But
hands are a fucking bitch.
But he's got the hustle. He goes, he's not afraid to throw stuff and throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. You know,
that's,
and God bless him.
that.
That's what I fully admire in anybody.
Yeah.
George Perez, you put him, George Perez, and give him any group shot. George Perez will put 400 fucking X-Men in one panel, and you'll know every X-Men. You'll be like, yep, that's that Storm, that's Wolverine. And that's another guy that I really admire. He's having some kind of health problem now.
Oh,
but George Perez has always been one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
And I did get to meet him. I did get him to sign something at a con one time. And I literally spent about 10 or 15 minutes just talking to him because I was just like flabbergasted that I finally get to meet George Perez. But he was a cool cat. He was a pretty cool cat. I liked him.
Sweet.
But yeah, but that's the thing. Like when somebody takes over a property and they poop on it, Kathleen Kennedy, you shouldn't do that.
And there is our Star Wars reference for you.
And then you get a guy like Favreau who can take a property.
And David lines up the shot, gets ready.
And saves it.
Scores.
And then they erase what the bad person did. Boom!
Yes. Okay, so that segue, I am going to, before I wrap on 16 Candles, I did start watching Boba Fett, but I've only seen one episode. It better get better. That's all I've got to say about that.
Everybody I've talked to says they like where it's going.
Good. I'll watch another one and see.
There is this the first episode where the guys are at the at what looks like Aunt and Uncle Baru's Uncle and Aunt Baru's house?
Yeah.
And they're painting the letters, the symbols on each side of the door?
Yeah. Yes.
You know what those symbols are?
No.
The letter K. In the language and the letters of Star Wars, they're letters K. K. Kathleen Kennedy.
Are you serious that they really put that Easter egg in there?
They did another one too. They did another Easter egg I'm
going to go back and watch.
When he goes into that bar. And the young couple, the man and woman are like, oh, they're getting scared. Those are, crap, I forgot their names, the characters' names, but they were cut out of the original movie. They got an actor and an actress that looked just like the original people. Oh
my God.
Put them in Tashi's station. That's Tashi's station at one point when he walks in. Those two are there. That's another dig that you're not erasing shit.
I love it. I'm gonna, I'm gonna check it out. It was cool to see how Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit. But it was really slow. But I get what they were building, a little bit of a change in his. He had some life changes.
Yeah, why he's not the vicious bastard that he was when he fell into the Sarlacc pit. And I can see
that's where it's going. Yes, yeah, you can see why he changed, and just seeing Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's place. So it makes sense. But so I started watching that. I watched all of Hawkeye, which I absolutely fucking loved. So
really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually surprising because I heard a lot of crap about that.
I liked it better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
I liked it better than Loki. Actually, I like it. I put it right up there with WandaVision. I fucking loved it. But
really,
I'm a weird cat.
I like WandaVision.
I love WandaVision.
I did like WandaVision.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to more of this. I want to hear more.
Absolutely.
Of what you say. But I just think it's interesting, the little Easter eggs that are being
That's
dropped.
fucking great. So I will go check some out because I'm a few episodes behind.
I'll send you a link of where I found all that information at. And
please.
Yeah, you'll love the guy who's going over he's Overlord DVD, Doomcock.
Yes, you were telling me about it.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's very funny. If anybody wants to watch and see what I'm talking about, go find Overlord DVD on YouTube. And
very cool.
He'll talk about some of the symbolism that's being overlooked and why it's funny.
Very cool. The first episode of Mandalorian was directed by one of my all-time favorite directors, Robert Rodriguez. So that
he'll be doing all of them, I think.
Is he
supposed to be doing all of them?
I don't know. I haven't looked, and shame on
thought.
me. But if he is, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be a lot of action.
Oh yeah, there'll be a lot of action. It's just he's got a great style.
I want to see him show up with a guitar case.
Yes.
And just like take out a That'd be good.
Oh yeah. So back to 16 Candles after Dave and I went on some weird Kathleen Kennedy rant on Disney.
I have to get my digs in. It's the only way
we have to have a Star Wars reference every now and then. 16 Candles is, as I said earlier on, one of my all-time favorite movies. This is just a good fucking movie. And if you don't like it, you don't have a heart. I'm just saying, and I don't want to know you. Because you ain't human. This is a good fucking movie. I stand by that.
This is a fun movie. This is a good movie. This is a John Hughes pretty close to his peak, I think. He's writing good characters already. I don't know what he did before this. I've never really looked up.
He wrote for National Lampoon. National Lampoon. He was a writer.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
So he wrote a lot of shorts and a lot of stories.
He had his chops. He knew how to do character development. And again, when he wants you to feel that in your little heart, you get it. He
was good at it. I had no idea. So hit my microphone. With all that being said, definitely Dave and I give this a big thumbs up. Go out and watch this shit.
Absolutely.
So before we go, please take the time to subscribe, hit the like button, follow us, share us, spread the word that you like what you hear, like what you see, or you don't. At least tell us something like, hey, you guys suck, or you guys are awesome.
I like that our numbers went up a little bit on, I hadn't looked, but on YouTube, our numbers went up a little bit. And thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And our listeners on the various podcast platforms, we have gained a few. So thank you so much for the added activity. We'll get there.
We're slow, but we'll get there. We're going to get there, Donny Jones.
We have done 2 months of good movies for the most part.
And we can't do it anymore.
We can't. It's enough. I don't know about you, Dave, but I've had enough. My teeth are falling out from all this sweetness.
Yeah. Of liking everything we've watched so far.
So we are now on the search for the worst fucking movies ever. So surprise, because we don't even know what the hell's coming up next.
We're looking for a couple of good bad movies, or bad good movies, however you want to look at it. We'll find something. You'll be surprised as we are. When we know what's going on in our lives, we'll let you know what's going on in our lives.
And to everybody out there, if you've seen a movie that you were fully expecting it to be shit, or a bunch of people said it was shit, or the internet said it was shit, and you loved it, drop us a line. I want to know what that is. Yeah, because when we tried to watch something that looked like it was going to be bad, and it's even on the list of worst movies, I loved Devil Girl from Mars. I'm just saying.
I liked it. I see where that could be a good movie.
It is a good movie. Well, it could be even more.
It could have been better. I get what they were doing, and it was a fun sci-fi flick that I literally picked because of the name. I was like, there's no way I'm going to find anything interesting about this movie or that I even like.
Surprise.
And yet I got surprised. I was like, holy crap, that's actually a pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I've actually, one of our co-hosts that we had on here just said, I don't see what you like about this movie as much. And I totally respect that. But
was that Mal?
It was Mal. I was not going to.
You know what? That's okay. And, you're wrong now.
It's a good movie, but
we love you anyway. But you're wrong.
I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but we also look for things that are saving graces in most movies.
We try.
That's the difference. I think you and I are on a lot of other critics.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. You know what? I just remembered we don't have a movie coming up next week. We will talk about what we're watching and movies, but we
that's
are.
Right.
Please be sure to tune in because Dave and I are going to reveal what we look for in movies, what we like in movies, how we come about this review, how this podcast started, what we get from it, what we see, and just a discussion. Some old ass guys talking about old ass movies and shit. So
basically what Scott and I are going to do is talk. and we're going to talk about why.
You may not be used to that.
Yeah, exactly. But we're gonna discuss probably a little bit. I'm thinking the difference between what you and I do,
yes,
as opposed to what
other reviewers
do, other critics, because
we are different.
I don't think we're we'll talk.
We'll cover all that. We are. I don't like to call myself a critic, but we are movie critics. We'll definitely go into that. So if you want to see or just hear about our thought processes on what makes a good movie or what we look for or just I think it'll be a good discussion.
Yeah, it could last 15 minutes or it could last 6 hours. We don't know. Maybe not 6 hours.
Not after work. It ain't lasting 6 hours.
Nah, it ain't lasting 6 hours after work. Shit, dude, I've been getting up 3 o'clock in the morning every day this week. It's like, I hate resets.
Yep.
I hate working hard.
So make sure
to lottery.
Yeah. Make sure and tune in to us next week when Old Ass Movie Reviews talks about old ass movie reviews.
There you go. That's what we're going to do.
Catch you then.
Have a good one, folks.